Hi guys, welcome to my channel. This is your daily horoscope for Friday, October 8th, 2021. But before we begin, I would request you to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so that you can be notified every time I post a video. And I do daily video horoscopes, weekly video horoscopes, and monthly sun, rising sign video horoscopes. And you can watch all those on my YouTube channel. Alright, so let's talk about what's happening in the astrology today. And the first thing I want to talk about is something that we've been talking about, and that is the Mars Sun conjunction. As you can see on the chart, the Sun has moved on now. It's conjuncted Mars. The conjunction was building up till now, and it's happened. It happened, I think, 9 p.m. yesterday, and it's going to be on today as well. So we will be feeling this, and this conjunction brings a lot of energy because Mars is the planet of action, of getting things done, of taking initiative. It's also the planet of anger and frustration, and the Sun is our soul, it's our identity, it's our consciousness. So here, what could be happening is that we can find that willpower, that courage, that drive, that initiative to take action and get things done. Alternatively, if we don't channel that Martian energy, which is all about getting things done, going after what you want, taking initiative, then that can manifest as frustration and anger, because that's the downside of Mars, right? Anger and frustration. So it's an intense energy, and it's best to channel this positively in doing things and getting things done. And this energy is also in a quincunx to Uranus. Now, Uranus is the planet that rules electricity. It's a lot of energy, and with Uranus, things happen suddenly and unexpectedly. So what I'm trying to say is that this energy of Mars, of taking action, of taking initiative, is even more magnified because Uranus is making an aspect with it. And it could be at moments when this energy is going on, which it is right now, that we find that drive, that courage, that willpower to get things done suddenly and unexpectedly, or in bursts. One moment, okay, let's get all this done. Another moment, okay, I need a break. So it could be that sort of vibe as well, and that applies to anger and frustration as well, right? Because one moment everything's okay, the next moment you're feeling angry and frustrated, and then it's okay, and then you're feeling angry and frustrated. So this is that sort of energy, and it's best to use it positively. And moving on, speaking of Uranus, at 5 a.m. Pacific time, the moon in Scorpio is going to oppose Uranus. Now, this is a lot of energy as well. The moon is our emotions, it's our inner heart and soul, and Uranus is the planet of sudden, unexpected changes. It's a lot of energy, and here two things could be happening. One, we change something emotionally, we go through a sudden emotional change, or we can feel frazzled with so much energy. Our emotions can feel frazzled at this point. But always the goal with an opposition, a 180-degree angle, is to integrate two elements, right? So here we need to integrate the moon, our emotions, with Uranus, the planet of changes, and the planet who wants us to be our true authentic self. It could very well be that we need to adjust something in our emotions, change something in us, so that we are more in tune with our true authentic self. And sometimes it is our emotions that prevent us from embracing authentic self, whether that's an emotion of feeling like, okay, I can't do this, or feeling like I'm not good enough, or feeling scared to take action or be your true self. So, this is a moment where we will need to dig to the bottom of our emotions and maybe make an adjustment, because the moon in Scorpio is about really digging deep into our soul and finding what's there, even if it's not pretty, right? That's Scorpio. So that's the energy, and this moment can feel intense. So just let it pass, or if you're feeling a lot of energy, manifest it positively with the Sun, Mars, and getting things done. And the next important aspect happens in the evening at 6 p.m. Pacific time. And I forgot to mention that if you are elsewhere in the world, then you can always convert the Pacific time to your time zone to know when the energy is going to peak for you. And what's happening here at 6 p.m. is that the moon is in a trine with Neptune, and almost at the same time, it's going to happen at 8 p.m., but the moon will square Jupiter. So you can say both these energies are happening one after the other, and we'll be feeling them together in a way. And Neptune is the planet of higher realms, it's the planet of spirituality and connecting with the divine. It rules universal love and compassion, and it is also the planet of confusion and feeling low. That's Neptune. But this is a positive aspect with Neptune. So what could be happening here is that we feel quite spiritual. We have that spiritual energy, or we feel we're thinking more about universal love and compassion. But Neptune is also very sensitive. So what could be happening here is that we feel very sensitive in our emotions. And at the same time, around the same time, a few moments after actually, Jupiter is going to square the moon. Now, Jupiter magnifies anything it touches. It is the most benefic planet, it is the most optimistic planet, but a square is a challenging aspect. So, at this moment here, our emotions can be magnified. We might lose some sort of hope, we might lose some sort of optimism. And the goal again with the square is to make changes so that we can make things work together, so that we can grow and evolve. So we might need to make some changes so that we can feel optimistic and joyous and hopeful again. But this is a mixed energy, because on one hand, we have a positive aspect with Neptune, feeling spiritual, feeling creative, feeling like, okay, I'm connecting with the higher realms, feeling all these things, but at the same time, feeling a little low about something, feeling a little less optimistic about something. And that can happen, right? We can feel good about a part of our life, and at the same time, we can feel a little less hopeful about a certain part of our life. So, this is a mixed feeling, mixed energy. And towards midnight at about 11 p.m. Pacific time, we have the moon at 24 degrees of Scorpio, sextile Pluto. This is a positive aspect, and Pluto is the planet of catharsis and release and transformation. And Pluto did go direct yesterday, and it's been retrograde since April. So this is the first planet in the month of October to go direct. Next one will be Saturn on, I'll come back to this aspect. Next one will be Saturn on October 10th, and then Jupiter on October 18th, along with Mercury. And what this means, very briefly, that the forward movement, the pace at which things have been moving, will start to pick up slowly. Now, coming back to the moon Pluto aspect, this is a positive aspect, and this could be an emotional transformation we go through, or a catharsis to our emotions, right? Because that's Pluto, but this does not feel stressful. It happens naturally and organically. So that's pretty much it for today. And I do want to mention a couple of things before we close it out. The first is that Venus here, it changed signs yesterday, and now it's getting ready to conjunct the South Node. Now, Venus in Sagittarius is a very different energy than what we have been going through with Venus in Scorpio. Venus in Scorpio was about approaching our relationships, love, projects, self-worth, value, skills with a lot of intensity, with an all or nothing approach. But Venus in Scorpio is Venus in Sagittarius is about approaching our love, relationships, projects, self-worth, value, skills from a more optimistic, from a more adventurous perspective. And now it's getting ready to conjunct the South Node, so we'll talk about this. And the next thing I do want to mention is that that Mercury retrograde is going to meet up the Sun really soon, so we'll talk about that as well. And I did mention this, but Saturn here is getting ready to go direct. It's been retrograde for a few months, and Mercury, speaking of Mercury retrograde, Mercury has been retrograde since September 27th and will be till October 18th. So right now is not the best time to start something absolutely new. Gadgets can malfunction and communication can slow down during this period. Alternatively, if you were born with Mercury retrograde, you'll find more clarity in your thinking during this phase. And the pressure of transforming our thinking, communication, diet, health, lifestyle, routine, job, all Mercury things is easing off, because the square to Pluto, which we have been speaking about, is easing off. So that's pretty much it for today. And now I will very briefly give the big picture of 2021. Now, these are themes that we are working on all year. And the first of those is the Uranus Saturn square of 2021. These planets are squaring after 21 years, so a long time. And this aspect is asking us to change, embrace the new, and get rid of the old, and embrace our true authentic self. And since it's a square, this process might feel challenging. The second thing about 2021 is that it is a year that we are laying the foundation for two astrological cycles that started in 2020. The Pluto-Saturn conjunction of Jan of 2020. Now this happens once in 33 to 35, 38 years. And when it does, we start a new cycle, which is what happened in Jan of 2020. We closed out an older cycle, we started a new one, and this new cycle will be with us till 2053. And the next cycle that we are building is the Saturn-Jupiter conjunction. These planets meet up once in 20 years. And when they meet up, a new cycle begins, which is what happened in December of 2020. And in 2021, we're building that as well. So to sum it up, 2021 is all about building, it's all about change, it's all about laying the foundation for these long-term cycles, and it's about embracing our true authentic self. And now I will pick a card for today, and then we'll close it out. But before we do that, to sum it up, today can be a very intense day because of the Sun-Mars conjunction, quincunx Uranus, and the Moon opposing Uranus. And at the end of the day, it will square Jupiter. So today we can feel like a lot is going on, and it's best to channel that Martian energy of being impulsive, of taking initiative, of finding that drive and courage and willpower to do things in a positive way. Otherwise, it can manifest as anger and frustration. And it can happen in bursts, because Uranus it's like a current. It strikes and then it goes back. So that's Uranus. So with Uranus, there's a lot of energy, but it comes in bursts. So just be mindful of that. And now I will pick a card for today. Okay, I'm going to go with the top. Okay, there are two cards. So it says happiness and it says going forward. I think this card is a happy card. It says happiness, and I think this is a reminder for us to be happy. I know today is going to be very intense, so I think because there's so much intensity, we must find joy in small things and find our happiness. Going forward, and I think we must not let anything hold us back. We must keep on going forward. I know it's intense. We all feel the intensity. It's not been easy, but we have to move on. We have to go on. And this is a reminder to do so. Pick one more card. Okay, I'll go with the top. Honesty. I can't always expect the truth from others, but I can expect it from myself. And I think this is about being our true authentic self, right? We can wear a mask with everybody else except our own self. We know the truth, we know who we are, and we must embrace that. And I think that's a good card to end the reading with. So I hope you have a great Friday, and I will see you all tomorrow for my weekend horoscope. Bye.